You are stumbling through a forest at midnight. The moon has slipped behind the clouds and every tree looks identical to the last. Roots catch your feet, branches scrape your face. You try to move forward, but somehow, without noticing, you circle back to where you began. This is not a dream. This is not even the forest. This is your mind when you first attempt silence. Close your eyes and the wilderness appears. The embarrassing thing you said 3 years ago suddenly demands review. Tomorrow's grocery list claws at your attention like a predator. A half-remembered song loops endlessly, drilling into your skull. Your knee aches, your stomach growls. You sneak a glance at the clock, 2 minutes. But you were certain it had been 20. For most people, this is meditation, not transcendence, not bliss, a battlefield of distraction. And so they quit or they chase a single memory of stillness like addicts pursuing a high that never returns. Others cling to techniques like talismans, chanting, breathing, mantras half-remembered from yoga class. But the forest does not open for them. It swallows them whole. And yet there exists a map, a guide through this chaos drawn not by dreamers, but by those who spent lifetimes inside the labyrinth of consciousness. Ancient monks of Theravāda Buddhism, modern neuroscientists scanning brains in laboratories, different languages, same terrain, both pointing to 10 stages, 10 thresholds that mark the journey from confusion to clarity. Think of it like learning piano. No one sits down and instantly performs Rachmaninoff. First you must find middle C, then scales, then clumsy melodies. Your fingers stumble until through repetition new pathways are carved into the brain. Meditation is no different. Except here, the instrument is not ivory keys. The instrument is you. Each stage unmasks a deeper truth. Each step exposes another lie the mind whispers to itself. Distraction is not failure, it is the doorway. Frustration is not proof of weakness. It is the raw material of transformation. But here is the warning. The map is not the territory. The stages are not enlightenment. They are footprints on shifting ground. Follow them and the forest may open. Ignore them and you will wander endlessly mistaking shadows for light. So the question is not whether enlightenment is real. The question is, will you dare to walk through the forest of your own mind, knowing you may never return the same? Stage 1, sitting with resistance. The first stage of enlightenment has nothing to do with visions, halos, or cosmic truths. It begins with something humiliatingly simple. Will you sit down? Will you stay still when every nerve in your body screams to move? This is the battlefield of consistency. 15 minutes stolen from the endless cycle of scrolling, streaming, checking, and chasing. 15 minutes against the oldest enemy you've ever faced, your own mind. Most fail here. They meditate when stressed, then forget when life feels good. They skip one day, then another, then return weeks later, and punish themselves with a 2-hour session. It doesn't work. The brain does not learn this way. You cannot master a language by ignoring it for a month and then cramming for 6 hours. Neuroplasticity responds to rhythm, not punishment. Science confirms what monks already knew. A daily 10-minute practice rewires the mind more deeply than rare marathons of discipline. Each brief session lays down another thin layer of pathway in the brain like a deer trail gradually becoming a road. The forest yields to repetition, not force. But resistance is relentless. The human brain was sculpted by evolution to constantly scan for threats and opportunities. Stillness makes no sense to an ancient nervous system. It wants you restless, vigilant, alive to the danger that might come from any corner. Every instinct tells you to get up, to check your phone, to do something, anything that seems productive. This is why stage 1 feels unbearable. It is not a mystical failure. It is the clash of biology against intention. Millions of years of restless survival colliding with your fragile decision to sit and breathe. But hidden here is the first truth. You do not need to defeat resistance. You need only outlast it. Every moment you remain seated is an act of defiance against the oldest patterns written into your blood. Every breath taken with closed eyes is rebellion against evolution itself. Stage 1 does not feel like progress. It feels like drowning in distraction, like wasting time, like fighting shadows. But understand this, every minute you endure is proof that you are stronger than your instincts. And that strength is the seed of awakening. The forest has tested your will. Now the path reveals its first marker. The discovery that simply showing up is already victory. Stage 2, forgetting and remembering. You sit, you breathe, inhale, inhale, and then it happens. You are gone. One moment you are with the breath. The next you are replaying an argument with someone who isn't even here. You are constructing a fantasy where you deliver the perfect comeback. Your chest still rises, still falls, but your awareness has vanished into the storm. 5 minutes slip away. You awaken suddenly, realizing you are supposed to be meditating. Frustration crashes in. I failed, I can't do this. My mind is too wild, but here lies the secret. Forgetting is not failure. The very act of remembering, of catching yourself in the drift, is progress. Neuroscience confirms this. Your attention is like a security camera. It is meant to watch one door, but instead it keeps swiving to windows, shadows, every corner. The default mode network, your brain's daydreaming machine, never stops generating stories about you, memories, fantasies, worries. It is millions of years old and it will not go quietly. When you attempt to focus, you are not meditating against distraction. You are meditating against evolution itself. The prefrontal cortex tries to hold attention, but it burns energy like a muscle under strain. Eventually it fatigues, and in that moment of weakness, the old machinery of the brain pulls you under.